fight for, the democracy is the house that we live in. It is the context in which we get to fight the good fight. So whatever we do, we always have to stand up for the democracy. And so, as I often say, a vote is a kind of prayer for the world we desire for ourselves and for our children. And our prayers are stronger when we pray together. But these days, I'm praying harder. I'm praying not only with my lips, but with my legs. We have to pray with our hands and with our feet. We have to show up and fight for the world that we want to see. I'm very worried about America, to be honest. I'm very worried because this SAVE Act is just one more iteration of the chipping away of the people's voice. That's what I mean when I say this is bigger than partisan politics. I need my friends who don't agree with me on most things to see what's really happening. Little by little, the voices of the people, regardless of your politics, the voices of the people are getting softer and softer. And the voices of money interests, people with big money, people who can write big checks, those are getting louder and louder. They are literally squeezing the voices of the people out of their own democracy. Yeah. And one flashpoint of that was Citizens United, when they said a corporation is a person. And we've seen that voice get louder and louder and louder. Have you ever wondered why it's hard for us to get stuff done? Think about how divided our country is. Isn't it? They're divided, they're cultural, all of that's true. But even on the stuff we agree with, even in the areas where there's broad agreement among Americans, we can't get any movement in that building. Yeah. So what does that tell you? That tells you that somebody else other than the people increasingly own the democracy. Like we don't agree on the gun issue. There are differences. But most Americans believe in background checks. Why can't we get a vote on it? Why is there no real discussion about it? And so I need folks to see the SAVE Act for what it is. This is about us moving from a democracy increasingly to an oligarchy. This is about big people with big interests, with big money, determining the agenda. And so we have to defeat the SAVE Act because they're not trying to save America. They're trying to save their own power at any cost, but we're not having it. I'll stand up all night if I have to stand up in that building to defeat the SAVE Act. And so let's stay in this fight. And whatever you do, don't give in to those who are trying to weaponize despair, who are trying to convince you that they have already won. Because if they can convince you of that, then you stop fighting. But when we fight, we win. 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 And so don't give in to the forces, because we've seen tough times before. I'm here with the Reverend Dr. Spencer from Georgia. And in so many ways, the people of our state have been standing up. But you know, I was John Lewis's pastor. And so I'm not about to give up in the face of Donald Trump. We've seen this kind before. We've seen these kinds of fights before. And so as I close, and nobody believes a Baptist preacher when he says as I close. When Martin Luther King Jr. enjoyed the victory of having passed the Civil Rights Bill into law, he went to see President Johnson in the White House. Andy Young told me this story. And he and his lieutenants went to see the president, and the president was feeling all wonderful and, congratulating themselves that they had passed the Civil Rights Bill into law. Big deal. It was a huge deal that they got it done. And Dr. King recognized that, but he said, "Thank you very much, Mr. President. I need a voting rights bill." That's right. I mean, he didn't skip a beat. He said, yep, we got public accommodations, but I'm not a citizen if I don't have the right to vote. I need a voting rights law, and I need it now. And the President of the United States didn't push back, in principle. He said, I hear your point, but you got to understand how politics works, Dr. King. I can't get that done right now. I just passed the Civil Rights Bill into law. I had to get that through the forces in the South, the Dixiecrats, who didn't want to see that. I was just able to I don't have the power. I don't have the power to do it right now. And they left the meeting and the staff was feeling all demoralized and dejected. And they said to Dr. King, what are we going to do? The President of the United States just said to us he doesn't have the power to get us our voting rights. Dr. King just sort of shrugged his shoulder and said, well, if the president doesn't have the power, I guess we're going to have to go and find him some. I like that story because he is a man who wasn't elected to anything. He wasn't a United States senator. He was just a Baptist preacher on Auburn Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia, and he said, I'm going to go and get the President of the United States some power. It is a way of saying that it's not about the people in power, it's about the power that's in the people. I'm trying to tell you that you have more power than you think you have, and if you stand up today and stand up tomorrow and stand up next week and stand up all the way to November, we're going to put some guardrails on this president. We're going to shut down this agenda that's creating terror on the streets all across our city with masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, pulling people and creating terror. We can put guardrails on this president. If we keep this momentum and this courage all the way to November and then beyond. Are you ready to stand up? Yeah. Are you ready to save America from the SAVE Act? Yeah. Well, let's stand up. And when we stand up, we win. God bless all of you. Keep the faith.
Hip politics, baby.